existing, well, that's one-payer system, that's the medical non-business. But how can you explain you working on your fundraising is good for us, and how your association with the Edison Tax to Excellence, the American Gas Tax, etc., is going to put you in any good light with constituents that go to work and are totally against these big companies influencing our politics?
Good question. Let's address fundraising first, head on. It's a big part of politics. Incumbents and challengers have to raise money. You don't see many elections like the one we just had, where a guy like me who was outspent 5-1 wins. Most cases it doesn't happen. Raising money from people who want to help me get reelected is part of my job. And it's an important part of my job. Is it something that's going to get in the way of the work I do representing you? No, I won't let it. Here's a problem I have with fundraising. Right now,
Can you explain why it's important besides for election time?
Here's why it's
we don't take fundraising from big corporations.
Well, no. That's not fair. What about big funding from individuals? What's the difference? What's the difference? What about money from anyone?
Do you know something from
And I can give you $1, that give you 10, you probably take it.
because right, if I go to you, I'm expecting
You're expecting what?
to go to work for us. To go to work in Washington and use my name. And you're right, I mean, the big companies, the same thing. They're going to expect you to do something that they're not doing it for the fun of it. How do you get your message out?
Hey, Bill, why did you contribute to my campaign this last time?
I like it.
What did you like? Besides,
I like what you say. I know we're going in the wrong direction in this country, and I think you have the knowledge and ability to turn it around.
why do people give money to candidates? Why do individuals give money to Diane?
No, I was a volunteer at the campaign. Was it primary? Okay. You had a lot of volunteers. We all worked hours, hundreds of hours, making phone calls, knocking on doors, walking parades, giving literature. We all did this for you for free because we believe in you. Melissa B., on the other hand, I'm sure she had to pay everybody who was out there making phone calls, going door to door. So she needed that money. That's why it's so important to have those fundraisers. It really is.
Let's make a distinction. Look, money's a part of politics. We can argue about how big a part it is, about how damaging a part it is. You and I may disagree on some things, agree on some things. I think part of the problem is, one of the reasons I have to spend so much time raising money is because there are limits. An individual can only give me $2,400. So I have to spend a lot of time trying to raise $1,000 or $2,000 at a pop. I think if you got rid of the limit, but there was instant transparency, if Jim Mayer wanted to write me a check for $100,000 because he thought I was a great guy, but that was instantly disclosed and everybody knew about it, and if that ticked you off and you didn't want to vote for me, so be it. If you don't like the fact that some corporate PAC in New York is going to give me money because they think I'm a free market guy, that should be instant and out there for you to see. And if you have an issue with it, don't vote for Walsh. Look, I went out there on a lot of things when I ran. I think we send people to Washington and they become different than us. So I stuck my neck out and I said, I'm going to be different in a lot of ways. I'm not taking health care. They're shoving this health care thing down us and it doesn't apply to them. I won't take health care. Social Security's going over a cliff. I'm not going to take the cushy pension benefit that members of Congress get. I said I'm going there only for 6 years because I think they stay too long and they forget what it's like to live here. I said, disagree with me, there is nothing wrong in my mind with what we call special interest or PAC money. Teachers come together, they form a union, that's a PAC. They give money to candidates they believe in. Carpenters do, union people do, big bad corporations do. They all do. It was put in our Constitution for a reason. Special interest groups were put in our Constitution so the little guy would have a voice. If the little guy got together. Now we love to rip big corporate PACs. They're easy targets, right? But remember, when you're ripping a PAC, you're ripping your teachers union, no matter where you stand on it. You're ripping your local whatever union. You're ripping any kind of group that's come together to influence legislation, rich or poor. And I don't think there's anything wrong with taking that money, because let me look you squarely in the eye. You are going to know where Joe Walsh stands on issues. Anybody that's even thinking about giving me money is going to know who I am. I'm pro-gun like you wouldn't believe. Do you think gun control groups are going to give me money? Heck no. I'm pro-life. Do you think Planned Parenthood is going to give me money? Like Dr. Adam, I want to repeal the financial regulation reform. Do you think big corporate interests that actually like it, because they benefited from it, are going to give me money? No. The people that are going to give me money are going to give me money because they believe in what I'm saying, in what I believe.
We'd be controlled by the lobbyists then.
Oh, gosh. How much can a lobbyist give you?
And if you're big business, you can.
$5,000. My brother can give me $2,400, and I like my brother a heck of a lot more. That's not going to influence me. Thank you. Hold your thought. Let's spread this around. All the way in the back. Hey, thank you for that question.
Jim Solberg, retired military. You mentioned a couple minutes ago.
Thank you for your service.
You mentioned a couple minutes ago one of the committees that you were interested in getting on. My interest, of course, is the armed services. Illinois has not had a representative on the Armed Services Committee for a number of years. We have the two very large military installations in Illinois. Great Base, which is just outside of the 8th District, and Scott Air Force Base down south. Do you have any interest in the Military Armed Services Committee, or do you or any of the other freshman candidates trying to get on that committee?
Have you been bugging my cell phone? Armed Services is actually a strong preference of mine. I hope to be on 2 committees, and I hope that that's one of them. Thank you. In the corner.
What's your view on constitutional amendment to balanced budget?
All support.
What's that?
I'm all for it.
Push hard for it?
I push hard for it. I push hard for it. And I push hard for it as a guy who generally doesn't like to play around with the Constitution, but it's become so severe we have to. Yes, sir.
About your question, okay. My whole life, I refused to have anything to do with politics, Republicans or Democrats, because I'm not going to say the words I say. I was talking to you about, I don't have much respect for all the special agents they represent. Mr. Walsh, I got active in politics. I got really upset about a little more than a year ago. I met Joe, and I agreed to go to work for him. I haven't been paid anything, but I contacted thousands of people. There were altogether probably 1,000 people involved in his campaign. He didn't have a chance of winning without the support of those individuals. He won by 291 votes. And if 10% of those people, if 10% of those people weren't involved, he wouldn't have been elected. Things have changed in the United States. Melissa Dean had a lot of special interest money, and if you went on her site and look where it came from, it didn't work for her. If he takes a bunch of special interest money, I won't be ringing any doorbells. And 998 of the other people won't be ringing any doorbells, and he'll be bye-bye. So he knows that. So he better be what he says he is, or he will be there for 2 years. And we will then find somebody else to take his place. So it's a new age in America. Everybody's upset about these budget deficits. You get active and you talk to your neighbors and you get involved, and we'll get government we can be proud of. Otherwise, we won't. So he better do what he says he's going to do, or bye-bye Joe. And it's going to be that way all across the country in tons of congressional districts. It's just a new age, and that's what I think the solution is.
I won by 291 votes. Thank God that Mayor Becker and Nancy Kubelanza know a lot of people. Thank God. Look, let me be clear, folks. You're going to get